It is May 13th, 2022, and this is the video log. It takes 30,000 to a million, and I'm not that close to that goal right now. But I'm gonna take it through the account, talk a little bit about inflation and markets, and yeah. So here's the account. I'm sitting at 164,666. A lot of sixes in there. It was a pretty monster day today. Up almost 7%, actually over 7% if you count the after hours action. On the right, you're gonna see the options that are still they still haven't exercised, the live options. I'm gonna scroll through them real quick so you can figure out all the information that you need to know. If you'd like to know it, it's listed on here. All the pertinent information. So some crazy activity today, mainly because the markets went up quite big. It's a big relief rally, right? So everything got bid. Basically, Chinese stocks went really far up, and that's why a lot of these options are in the green quite a bit. These are my equity positions at the moment. You'll see that I have 750 Apple shares at the moment instead of 550 because due to an option event, I was forced to pick up 200 extra shares, so those might be going away from the account fairly soon. JD VIPS. This plus sign here means that I have dividends that are waiting to get reinvested, if you're wondering. Goldman Sachs, I want to exit some of these shares as well. So that's the thing, as the market falls pretty rapidly and I play weekly premium plays, sometimes I could get stuck with a lot of shares that I don't actually want. I don't want 200 Goldman Sachs shares or these extra 200 Apple shares. I would rather have less margin, but that's the deal. The account tab, if you're interested, I'm going to sort it by total return. Opposite at the top, Realty Income, Main Street Capital, DD. What? Oh, that's because it's a really small position. By equity, Apple, Goldman, Realty Income, VIP Shop. Only two green positions right now. Main Street Capital turned red. It's below $40 right now. So I've been actually picking up quite a bit of those. Picked up maybe 60 shares, something like that. So that dividend's going to be larger and larger. Next month should be good with the dividends from Realty Income and Main Street Capital. What else? Oh yeah, let me go back to the investing tab. Lots of margin right now. 116,000, over 116,000, representing 41% of the account. It's quite a bit. So I'm looking to reduce it, but I don't want to sell, call options that are too close to the price because I'll be losing out on the trade, right? I'll be making a bad trade. So anyway, total market value 281,000. So margin plus, the market account. And if you subtract the margin, that's how you end up at 164. Okay, well, that's the account. So here's the thing, right? Here are my thoughts on inflation. So I've done some research about inflation, how markets react during inflation, and they don't really inflationary periods, and they don't really appreciate a nominal value, but they do keep up with inflation. Okay, so market is kind of like the second probably safest thing to hold during inflationary periods. Number one being gold, and then two probably the markets, three probably real estate. But anything that's real, really, anything that's physical things. Commodity also do well, but the thing is, like, commodities are in a eternal bear market, right? Because they're battling versus human ingenuity. So as human ingenuity becomes better and better, technology improves on gathering commodities from the ground, then their price is going to drop, versus other things. and sometimes, most of the time, even versus currency, but certainly versus gold. Um, Although gold is a commodity, it's it's also accepted, money stock. It's kind of like, it's special. It's got special properties that make it very suitable for a store of value. And so other commodities tend to drop relative to gold and relative to whatever money, whatever currency a country happens to be using. Not all the time, of course. Like this phenomenon, you might not notice it over the long period of time in a country that has constantly high inflation. United States has been lucky for a long time to be the world reserve currency and has enjoyed the status of the most liquid traded thing worldwide. So it's kind of taken a role of the world's currency, and that makes it very stable. And it tends to put these, imaginary bands that prevents it from going too high up or too far down very quickly. That's not always going to be the case. There have been periods in history where, for example, the British pound was serving the same role, and it fell out of favor and lost a bunch of value, right? And now it's no longer the world reserve currency. The world reserve currency title tends to um, belong to the most powerful and most economically sound country of the time period, which at the moment is the United States. Will that be the case, let's say, 50 years from now? I don't know. Maybe even sooner. Things could change. I'm not betting on it at the moment, but anyway, I'm derailed a little bit. I'm supposed to be talking about inflation. So, I actually think that the market's gonna probably, this is a relief rally and it's probably gonna continue selling off next week or in the weeks following. But I'm not betting on that, even though I think that, um, because the overarching thoughts in a medium to long term instead of short term are that the market is going to keep up with inflation. So if inflation is 10%, the market's probably going to go up 10% per year or something like that. Because that's what history shows. It stays very neutral to inflation. It doesn't beat inflation necessarily, but it stays with it. So it will not. You might have a year where the market goes down more, right, than the currency, but those are rare, and it's probably going to go the other way the next year. So, but knowing that, looking from a longer term perspective, I don't think it's wise for me to try to make short term bets. I think that it's probably the wisest thing to do for me to do is to just keep doing what I've been doing, selling premium, holding positions that I have strong convictions in, make sure I have a well diversified account portfolio, make sure that I'm collecting cash from all sides, and make sure I try to beat the market at all times. Those are kind of my goals, and beating the market sounds very easy, but it's not. I've done it 2 years in a row, but the third one I failed. Well, I've done it before in the past, but since I've been doing these video logs, and hopefully this year I beat it again. I was beating it up until the last few days, but I went from 200,000 to 164 real quick. And in fact, before today, I was at 100, below 150 actually. So, it's extra 50 grand I could have had. But such is the markets, and I am very levered. If the market does drop 10-15%, my account could go down significantly. Um, I was trying to be safe, but I don't want to bias myself too much on the safe side. I want to use this as an opportunity to keep doing what I'm doing and adding cash onto my account. I mean, I haven't added any money into it, but adding cash meaning like through selling options, collecting premium and reinvesting that premium, maybe even using that premium as collateral to sell more options. So I'm gonna just continue to do that and see where it takes me. I'm gonna just eat the downturns. So if there's another 10-15% down from here, I'm just gonna eat it. And in fact, if you look at it from a technical standpoint, um, that's kind of what's expected from here. The Nasdaq could drop another 15% because of, it broke the double bottom pattern, and that suggests that it's going to go down same distance from the double bottom pattern to the top, so which translates to about 15% down. And we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep playing the game. If you guys have any words of wisdom in surviving inflationary periods in the markets, please let me know. I don't really have the time to go through all the articles and charts that I've seen about inflation in the markets and how they keep up. But if you have a quick link or something you want to share, please share in the comments. I'll definitely check it out. I'm always down for some more information and research. And also any tips and tricks that you have in surviving the markets through these kinds of situations, periods, rising rates, inflation, etc. And maybe perhaps you lived through it in another country or something like that. Maybe you have something to share. All right, that's it for now. Peace out.